For thousands of years before the arrival of Europeans, diverse Native American tribes thrived across the land that is now the United States. They developed complex societies with unique languages, cultures, and traditions. These first Americans lived in harmony with nature, relying on hunting, gathering, and agriculture for sustenance. Their stories, beliefs, and ways of life were woven into the very fabric of the continent. From the eastern woodlands to the Great Plains and the Pacific Coast, Native American tribes flourished in distinct regions. The Iroquois Confederacy in the northeast, for example, was a powerful alliance that influenced the political landscape. The Pueblo people in the southwest built remarkable cliff dwellings and mastered desert agriculture. The history of the United States, however, is often told from the perspective of European settlers overlooking the rich tapestry of Native American life that predated their arrival. To understand the full story of America, it is essential to recognize and honor the contributions and perspectives of the original inhabitants of this land. The late 15th century marked a turning point in world history with European exploration reaching the Americas. Seeking new trade routes and opportunities, European powers set their sights on this new world. The Spanish, driven by gold and the desire to spread Catholicism, established the first permanent European settlements in the Americas. The arrival of Europeans brought significant changes to the continent. The English, seeking religious freedom and economic prosperity, founded colonies along the Atlantic coast. Jamestown, established in 1607, marked the first permanent English settlement in North America. The French, drawn to the fur trade, explored the vast interior, establishing trading posts along the Mississippi River. The Dutch, known for their merchant spirit, established New Netherland, a colony centered around the Hudson River, which later became New York. Each European power brought its own culture, language, and ambitions to the New World. The interactions between these European settlers and the Native Americans already inhabiting these lands would shape the course of American history. The arrival of Europeans had a profound and often devastating impact on Native American populations. Competition for land and resources led to conflict. European diseases, to which Native Americans had no immunity, decimated entire tribes. Treaties were made and broken, leading to further displacement and suffering. Despite facing overwhelming odds, Native Americans resisted European encroachment on their lands and ways of life. Leaders like Metacomet, also known as King Philip, united tribes in New England in a desperate struggle against English expansion. However, European military superiority and the devastating effects of disease took a heavy toll. The forced removal of Native Americans from their ancestral lands, exemplified by the Trail of Tears in the 1830s, remains a dark chapter in American history. The displacement and cultural disruption inflicted upon Native American communities continue to have a lasting impact. Section 4. Declaring Independence. The Birth of a Nation. By the mid-18th century, 13 British colonies had taken root along the Atlantic coast. As these colonies grew in population and economic power, tensions with Great Britain escalated. The colonists resented British policies that they viewed as oppressive, particularly taxation without representation. In 1776, representatives from the 13 colonies gathered in Philadelphia and issued the Declaration of Independence, a document that boldly proclaimed their separation from British rule. The Declaration, primarily authored by Thomas Jefferson, asserted the inherent rights of man to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It served as a powerful indictment of British tyranny and a beacon of hope for those yearning for self-governance. The Declaration of Independence marked the beginning of the American Revolutionary War, a bitter struggle that tested the resolve of the fledgling nation. Under the leadership of George Washington, the Continental Army fought bravely against the mighty British forces. The war raged for 8 long years. testing the limits of the colonists' commitment to freedom. Section 5. The Shadow of Slavery, a Nation Divided. The Declaration of Independence, while proclaiming the ideals of liberty and equality, stood in stark contrast to the reality of slavery in America. From the early colonial period, millions of Africans were forcibly transported to the Americas as slaves. They endured unimaginable cruelty and exploitation on plantations, primarily in the southern colonies. The institution of slavery became deeply entrenched in the fabric of American society, particularly in the South, where it fueled the economy. Abolitionists, led by figures like Frederick Douglass and Harriet Tubman, bravely spoke out against the horrors of slavery, demanding its immediate end. However, their calls for justice were met with fierce resistance from slaveholders who profited from this brutal system. The issue of slavery divided the nation, leading to the tumultuous Civil War in 1861. The Union states, primarily in the North, fought to preserve the nation and abolish slavery, while the Confederate states, located in the South, seceded and fought to maintain their way of life. The Civil War, the bloodiest conflict in American history, raged for 4 years. Section 6. Forging a Nation, Industrial Growth and Expansion. Following the Civil War, the United States embarked on a period of rapid industrialization and westward expansion. The Transcontinental Railroad, completed in 1869, connected the East Coast to the West Coast, facilitating trade and communication. New industries emerged, fueled by technological innovations and a growing workforce. The late 19th and early 20th centuries witnessed a massive influx of immigrants seeking new opportunities in America. From Europe, Asia, and Latin America, they arrived in droves, bringing their cultures, languages, and skills. While these newcomers contributed significantly to the nation's growth, they also faced discrimination and hardship. The rise of industrial capitalism brought about both progress and challenges. While it created immense wealth for some, it also led to labor unrest, social inequality, and environmental degradation. The Gilded Age, as it was known, was marked by both opulent